Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party. I'm running a little late today, so I'm gonna set up. Let's see. And what is the? Oh, that's so funny. All right. I have two screens, one above, one below, and they sort of sometimes I can get very confused from looking at the top one and part of the bottom of it is there. All right. So we're doing unit tests. Yesterday we got the unit tests working and we got them, and then we got them all passing. First, we got them all working, then we got them all passing, and then, you know what? I do need a browser so that I can look at my test results. And then, um, there we go. Let's go here. CD. Then npm run test, and that will fire up my Karma Jasmine. We were doing that yesterday, and let's make this just a little smaller. And it generates a report. The way I have it set up, it generates a report in this file called index. Oops, that's interesting. Pull that up there, and then I'm going to take this index.html and I'm going to drag it in there. I would imagine there's like literally a million ways to do what I just did. Like literally, there's probably so many ways to look at that. Ah, what a pain in the butt. And then of course it didn't even give me the URL. Uh, so back to this. For some reason, I don't understand it, but for some reason, if you're not on a new tab, it'll say that it's blocked. So you get this, which is just, and then, but if you say like, um, but if you drag it onto a new tab, then it's perfectly happy. So right now we are at 99.61% of statements. We have 5 statements and 5 lines of code that are not covered. We have 1 uncovered branch and we have 2 uncovered functions. So now I'm going to sort this by statement. And we have 3. For some reason I thought we were down to 2, but apparently we have 3 functions here. And actually I think we might have fixed this at the end of 3 at the end yesterday. Oh no, I think this is what I was working on. Get scene service. And I think what we'd figured out is now I don't think the scene service is even needed anymore because, and this is kind of interesting because I've never really been like this in touch with the architecture before, but I know just for some reason I just know it's not weird that I know this time. It's weird that I don't usually know, but I know that the mesh should never know anything about the scene. So we can get rid of we don't even want this uncovered function anymore. I don't think, but we want to double check that. So we want to make sure that st scene service doesn't ever get used, that we don't ever call this function. So probably the easiest way to do that will be just to copy this, put it in the pasteboard. I did end up taking an extra space, so we probably want to get rid of that extra space. Control V. And we'll just see, do we ever call get scene service from the mesh? See, I don't even have it. We don't even have get scene service in the mesh anymore. See, so I think that was old. I think we ended up taking care of that. Yep, so it's gone. We're at 100% on that one. And that is, I think, how we ended the day yesterday. And now we only have 2 files. We have the group file and animation file. Animation file is missing 1 function and 2 lines of code. And group is missing 2 lines of code, and that's it. So I guess we'll go with group, see what, at least get an idea what we're up against tomorrow. So it's on our group service. So our deferred class is fine, which makes sense because, if you call out any of the functions, it's definitely going to get covered. Um, this made me happy seeing this right here because it was like, oh yeah, I'm in my happy place right now. Um, so it looks like all I want to do is this, get st animations for group ID. Looks like I just pass it in a number and it's going to return a group. Now, it'll be interesting to see if it will return, I guess, yeah. What if we haven't even created a group? What happens? Like if it doesn't exist, this get group ID, I don't know what's going to happen. Um, but I guess we should also make sure that actually, we probably don't ever even use this right now because I don't think we can. Um, I do not think we can even we animate. Yeah, so this is standalone. It got copied. I don't think we need it at all. So let's go ahead and get rid of it now. At some point, we probably will need it. So let me double click on this. If you might notice, my font is a lot bigger. I like that. I can't believe, like, this is really nice how big it is. It's just so crazy. And I have had a couple of people who watch my shows, and thank you, people who watch my shows. I truly appreciate you. I don't know who you are, but I think you're awesome. So just know that there's somebody who makes videos for YouTube that thinks you're awesome. Um, anyways, so now let's go ahead and get rid of that completely because I think that I don't know. I I don't know. I don't know. I think that's a 50-50 thing. I think it's not that hard to build that. Um, and there's a very good chance we'll have our whole other system in place by the time we try to try to build groups. So it's like going to be pretty easy to add and not too hard. Um, yeah, it's going to be pretty easy to add, I think, if we need to. Um, all right, so that one is good now. All right, last but not least, let's see what we got here. I don't have time to really take care of it right now, but um, so we got 2 lines of code. What is that? Okay, for all lines we got to. Okay, so we're 99.84, 99.09, 100% of the functions, and 99.84. So we're missing 2 lines of code and 1 branch. The branches are the scary ones. Um, branches are much more difficult to code or to test than functions. And here it is. So basically, I think I would want to return all this does this. What does this do? This sets ST animations. I don't even know. Oh, and then we return ST animations. So basically, we know we get in here, but we don't ever get in here with when a mesh exists. So I want to take all of this here. So lines 83 through 86, really even 87. So all of that, we want to turn all of this into a function that we can call directly that we just pass the mesh. And then, and we can say, hey, we will pass you either a mesh or an undefined, and um, then it'll return that and this right here, and then this gets assigned directly. So animations is an empty array. So it'll either return an empty array. So if the mesh doesn't exist or something, it'll return the empty array. So let's go ahead and find this bad boy and put a little note for ourselves. Put a little note. Dun, 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 dun. Let me hit back a couple times and see. did we have a note that we, nope, okay. So now I'm going to hit Control P, and I'm going to paste this in, and then I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to say, what line of code are we talking about? We are talking about line 1983. We're talking about 83, baby. 83. All right. So now we're going to put one of our little, the word that I'm always trying to remember. I have no ephemeral. We're putting in our ephemeral to do. That an ephemeral to do is something I just made up just now, and it's a to do that should never make it into the final code base. It should just be there while you're actively working, and we should find no green checkboxes in the code when we do a commit. So this is our ephemeral comment, and it's like, okay, so break lines 84 through 89 out into its own function, and so it will be easier to unit test. All right, everybody. So that is what we're going to do tomorrow. We should be able to knock that out, and maybe even the end-to-end testing, since tomorrow is Saturday. And if that is in fact the case, then we will be able to. Then we'll be moving on to the next, like the group refactor is officially done. Let's see, what is this? This is, I believe this is video 556, refactor video session number 18. So we've done 18 sessions to do this refactor. Only 2 sessions were for unit tests, and it wouldn't surprise me if we can combine end-to-end tests tomorrow. So we might be to the point where, like, so we would have done 16 coding sessions with only 2 testing sessions, which it would be a fantastic ratio. I have seen literally the exact reverse. Actually, I typically see the exact reverse, where it's like it takes so many more unit sessions to finish up the testing than the coding. So I think that is probably a very, 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 very good sign. Let me kill this. And happy coding, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.